Hello and welcome back, my friends. Shawn here with Manly Made Minute, and we are on day 18 of my 30-day watercolor challenge. And I today am getting back out my Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. So this is my little travel kit that I have featured on some of these other videos, and these are the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. I have the whole set of 6, but these are my favorites that I put in the tin, my top 12. And then I made sure I put the primary colors in here so it can make anything on the color wheel. So today I've decided to play around with the color wheel. And my 3 primaries, I wanted just a nice light lavender. So I've taken my red with just a couple dabs of blue, and then I've added some white to pigment that down, and that's how I got my little lavender here. And then I wanted a more muted pink than here. So I just took this pink, and then I added some white to dilute that down. And then because these are so heavily pigmented, I put some water on either side of them to dilute as I need to. Because I was looking back at my last 18 days and trying to figure out kind of what's next, what haven't I tried, and I realized I've been using my wet to wet. So I've been wetting my paper, adding color onto wet paper, and I haven't done wet to dry. Now, I know that these are more heavily pigmented, and that pigment's going to stick probably a little bit more to that dry paper and may not dilute down as much, but I'm okay with that. So we're going to go wet to dry today. This is the Canson XL watercolor paper. I'm going to do two-tone again. So I'm going to do, like that shadow at the base of the petals and probably my pink at the edge of the petals just to lighten that out. And we're going to go petal by petal on this because I'm doing on dry paper, and I don't want to have this saturate too much without me being able to work it. And I know as you wet it, you can still rework it, but I'm going to go petal by petal, leaf by leaf, and I'll do the same thing with some greens, or I might even do some colored leaves. I have not decided color on these leaves quite yet, so may just do straight yellow or something. Before I get started, really quick, if you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, would love to have you thumbs up, comment. I will reply to every comment, love every comment, suggestions, tips, tricks, comments, whatever you want to add. And then you can also find me on Instagram at Manly Made Minute. There are 3 of us doing this challenge on Instagram and tagging each other. So if you want to do your same challenge, by all means, find yourself a stamp, join, and I can give you all the names to tag so that we all stay in the loop and encourage each other in our learning process. So I'm going to put this on high speed, set this to some music. I'm going to get coloring, and then I'm going to see you on the flip side. All right, we are back, and this is day 18 with my lavender and my pink. I did some more of a very light yellow brown with some yellow green on my leaves. I just wanted to keep the leaves kind of nice and airy against this darker, this kind of came out a little darker. But my purple came out slightly brown, so I think I needed to add more white to that. So as that dried back, I'd get a more paler purple or lilac is kind of what I was going for. And I'm okay with how it turned out, don't get me wrong. But I think I could have went just slightly lighter, and now that I look at it, I see a little slight brown undertone in there. So 2 things I've learned with this one. is, when you start mixing your own colors, when you're limited on colors, you got the primaries, to really know that color wheel. And I probably could have printed one out, but just know that color wheel so that when you're mixing, know what variations of what and how much of what you're going to need. Secondly is, as I started this first flower and I was trying to blend and get some water, I remembered on a card how I started using one of my colors to dilute the other color out. And so that's what I did on the rest of all of these flowers, is I used the pink to dilute out that line of my lavender, my purple. And then I did, as it was drying back, I did go back through and just dab on either purple or pink just to intensify where I wanted it intensified. But again, very happy with this. Similar look as the rest, but I did see that when you go to dry, that does suck into that paper and dries much, much quicker. So by the time I got my lines down and came back to blend out, they were drying already. So that's just one thing to be aware of, but you can always re-wet with watercolor. So not too scared about that. But I felt like it was slightly cleaner by doing it this way, and a little bit more controllable by doing it this way. But either way works. Just kind of depends on, I think, mood and what you're looking for overall anyway. So there you have it, day 18. Let's just do a quick recap for those of you that may be watching for the first time. This is day 18. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and now 19. So thank you so much for hanging with me. Appreciate you all. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. And I will see you tomorrow for day 20. We are almost to the finish line.